Om Gurave Namah. Om Gurave Namah. Om Gurave Namah. Namaste. Welcome to this video. In this video, I am looking at the charts of father and son, King Charles III and Prince Harry. And you may notice that there is a striking symmetry in the placements of the planets in the signs in the charts of these two men. So let us just review. Jupiter is in Sagittarius in both charts. The moon is in Aries in both charts. Mars is in Scorpio in both charts. Venus is in Virgo in both charts, and Venus is in Papakatara Yoga in both charts, being hemmed by Saturn, the Sun, and Mercury. Saturn, the Sun, and Mercury. So, very striking similarity in one regard. Very striking indeed. One would assume from such a symmetry of the placements of planets in the signs in the chart that there would be some similarity in the path of their lives. And yet they seem far apart geographically, and also in terms of a family bond and a family connection. They are far, far apart. So one thing that shows is that despite the placement of the planets in the signs, what is very important is the Bhava Chakra. Very important, the house placements. And we can see that King Charles III is a Karka Lagna, Cancer rising, whereas Prince Harry is Sagittarius. This is a 6-8 relationship. Cancer to Sagittarius is a 6-8 relationship, so it does show an incompatibility in one regard. Also, even though the moon is in Mesha, the nakshatra is different. So here we have Ashwini nakshatra, here it is Kritika nakshatra. So that matters in terms of one's outlook, one's disposition. There are deeper forces at play. Even if the surface seems similar, there are deeper forces at play that create massive differences in the life as it plays out. Now there is one planet in both charts that is really worth looking at, and this is Venus. Venus is debilitated. Venus is debilitated in both charts. Venus is Papakatari, afflicted in both charts. So what does this mean? Well, as I've talked about debilitated Venus in the video series on Prince Harry, for a man, Venus represents the wife as one of the significators of the wife. Of course, we would want to take the 7th house as well, so the 7th house, but as the natural, the Naisargika Karaka for wife, as Venus, we have to understand what are the implications of this debilitation. Severe affliction, severe affliction. because it is simultaneously debilitated and has Papakatara Yoga, which creates a pressure. There is a pressure on Venus. Now, interestingly, in both charts, Jupiter is there, giving Rashi Dristi on Venus. But in King Charles's chart, Jupiter is in the 6th house. So Jupiter does not perform with the same kind of protection and benevolence as being Lord of the 6th in the 6th. So does Jupiter offer the same kind of energy of protection to Venus as it would in Prince Harry's chart? Venus is first Lord in first. Hamsha Mahapurusha Yoga. So this is the Lagnesh providing protection. Do the enemies of King Charles provide protection to the wife? Something to think about. Now, it is very important that this Venus, debilitated Venus, has Nichabanga Raja Yoga because of its severe affliction. So does Nichabanga Raja Yoga, which we see in the chart of Prince Harry. We see that, right? Because the Lord of the exaltation sign of Venus, being Jupiter rules Pisces. This is where Venus gets exalted. This is in Kendra to Lagna. Jupiter is in Kendra to Lagna. So the debilitation of Venus gets cancelled. And cancelled as well as protection by the husband. Let's look in King Charles's chart. Venus is exalted in Pisces. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is in the 6th house. This is the 6th house. This is not in Kendra to Lagna, nor in Kendra to the moon. So Venus has no cancellation of its debility. There is no cancellation of debility of Venus, which means that there is a downfall. Venus experiences a downfall and is hammered by malefics. Ketu is here also. There's an added malefic to the mix in the chart of King Charles. Ketu is not here. Ketu is here. So you have all of these malefics. Mercury is acting as a malefic. Saturn is a malefic. This pressure, it's a relentless pressure with no escape route. Is there an escape route? Is there some escape route here? Can we say that Venus, Mercury, Parivartana is an escape route? Venus owns Libra, Mercury owns Virgo. They are in Parivartana. Is this an escape route? It's not exactly an escape route. It's not a cancellation because Venus doesn't physically move to Libra because of Parivartana. Venus feels like it is at home. Venus feels there's a comfort because of Parivartana, and that comfort may come after some time. But the reality is Venus is debilitated. That is the reality. Now in the chart of Princess Diana, Venus is not debilitated. That's why after marriage, this yoga affects her. So the yoga of the chart affects her, and there is no protection. Even the Lagnesh, the moon as Lagnesh, there's no dristi on Venus. Not Rashi Dristi, not Graha Dristi. There's no Dristi. And the moon is also wrapped up in its own drama. A moon Rahu conjunction. Moon has its own drama. So you see this playing out. So we know the tragic fate of Princess Diana. And this is a theory that shows how the energies, the planetary energies of the spouse can have their effect. It's very interesting to hear Prince Harry talk about his concern for his wife and how he feared that his wife was going to experience the same fate as his mother. Is it because, even from a deep kind of unconscious knowing, the similarities in the chart of the father, the chart of his father, Venus debilitated in both charts, there's that fear, the very reasonable fear to be had. Look at what she experienced. Very similar energy. She experienced a very similar energy. Yet, very luckily, the Venus debility is cancelled, which means that she wins. When Venus, the debilitation is cancelled, there is an overcoming. There is a victory there. And we're seeing it play out. It's slow, it's arduous. It may not even be apparent to all people, but it's there, it's happening. That protection is there, protection is activated. Jupiter as Lagnesh, protecting. So I think there is a lot to be grateful for, in the energy of the chart of the sun here. I think there is a lot to be grateful for. This is very unfortunate, very, very sad. So in my next video, I'd like to talk about the relationship between Prince Charles and Princess Diana at the time of their relationship and their marriage. There is something very similar about their charts as well. And I will speak about that in the next video. Namaste.